Nobody really wants to go to a gathering the whole time, get that nervous, sweaty feeling because
Yes.
you think you're about to have to pitch.
Yes.
Like everybody you meet, you feel like you're going to be pitching.
Totally.
It doesn't matter if your first question is, how did you get here?
Yeah.
Who let you in? I mean, I get that all the time.
That's a great, because everybody wants to be able to tell something that they know.
Yeah.
Most people at these network gatherings, they're maybe as nervous as we are, and they don't exactly know what the purpose is, but one thing they're comfortable talking about is how they got there. That's an easy story. They know that one.
Yeah.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the first season in 2026 of the Pasley Commercial Interiors podcast. This is Robin Pasley, the founder and design principal
Yeah.
of Pasley. I'm also married to her. Our guest today is our friend Nate Jorgensen, and he is with Firestorm.
That's good. I like that.
So, Designed to Help Your Business Grow is a podcast that's really focused on connecting humans who are in the design and branding industry. Welcome back to the season. We're going to have some great guests this year, a lot of clients and connections in the hospitality space in 2026. Basically, if your profession is hosting human beings to provide them an unforgettable experience in a location of any kind, we love serving you here. And we are advocates and huge supporters of the Firestorm Group. Nate, why don't you just introduce Firestorm, first of all, just what is that?
Sure. So Firestorm at its core is business-to-business, relationship-based networking. So building relationships with strategic partners so that you can make more money. I'm generally a huge fan.
What business owner isn't interested in that part?
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's cool. How did you get connected with Firestorm?
Thanks for teeing that up. I think it was you. I think you met this one, and then you connected us.
That's right. Nate, you and I met.
Yeah, there were cigars and bourbon involved.
We might have had some of those things. And we were up in Denver with our friend Stephen Van Diest and his crew. Great guys. Tell us a little bit about your experience with Firestorm. You've been a part of the network. You know, how long, and what's been the things that you've gained out of that connection?
Well, I would have said before that I'm a people person, but I don't like networking. Because my only experience had been another one that is a little more like punching the card and checking the boxes, and
It's the one where you have to give blood too, right?
pretty much like that, yeah. And I had been only to one of those, and I mean, that's all it took. I was like, oh no, we're not doing that. I mean, I seriously would have rather go knock on doors than go to one of those, you know? When HV introduced me to Firestorm, I was like, can't you do this for me?
That's exactly how it went down. I remember it exactly. Like, isn't that your job? You like people, you know? And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I realized that we had some dissonance at that moment between, well, what it means to build relationships for growth and what it means to go to some deal where you feel like you're selling.
Yes.
I knew you didn't want to do that. Nobody really wants to go to a gathering the whole time, get that nervous, sweaty feeling because
Yes.
you think you're about to have to pitch.
Yes.
Like everybody you meet, you feel like you're going to be pitching. Okay, so you brought it up, and I wanted to follow up a little bit. Like, I have some clients who've asked me the exact same question. They're like, HB, I love my clients and I love the job that I do, but I literally hate going to socials and I hate going to these networking things. How do I get over that? And so give us some therapy help, Robin, Nate, on what are some tips for going into a social or networking space and having that generous spirit? What do you actually do to get there?
I have 3 questions that I think of when I'm going into a space like that. The first one is, how did you get here? What got you to this event? So that usually involves a person.
Is that like your first question that you ask when you're walking in?
What brought you here tonight?
You're talking about the actual interaction with somebody
Interaction
at an
with a
event.
person.
This is the
At an
actual
event.
script we're going.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
love about
let's
this
do it.
question, because we play with this a lot, is that you don't have to know anybody.
That's right.
Just by asking the question, you can then later introduce, I have no idea what I'm doing, and it's my first time here.
Totally.
It doesn't matter if your first question is, how did you get here?
Yeah.
Who let you in? I mean, I get that all the time.
That's a great, because everybody wants to be able to tell something that they know.
Yeah.
And most people at these network gatherings, they're maybe as nervous as we are, and they don't exactly know what the purpose is, but one thing they're comfortable talking about is how they got connected or how they got there. That's an easy story. They know that one.
Yeah. The next question I often ask is, so what's been great about the last 6 months or something like that? And then the next question is, well, what's been a problem you've been trying to solve? Because that gets me to how I can help them with someone else I know.
Absolutely.
I think that's the theme of all 3 of those questions. I'm interested in you.
and it's authentic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you to a T that I love, and it's just awesome because anytime you're talking to Robin, you're like, this is very comfortable for me. I am totally fine with this.
And one of the things I love about all three of those questions is none of them asked that question that it just doesn't go anywhere, which is, what do you do?
About what?
That question goes to some sort of utility mindset. It's like, what do you sell? What do you provide? What's your function? That to me is just a dead end. I don't like, but when you ask those three questions, you find out more than what people do. They'll tell you what they do, but it's more like, why do you do it, and what's important to you, and who are you in the universe? That's just way more fun.
Yeah. And what's everybody's favorite topic?
Themselves.
Exactly. Right? But getting somebody to talk about themselves is pretty easy. You know, at the event, I always think about the 80-20 rule, right? Which is having them talk 80% of the time and you talk 20% of the time. Through great questions. I love your questions. They're awesome. I'm stealing all of them. And getting them to talk. And then when they ask a question, kicking it right back to them. You're making deposits into that relationship bank account really quickly. And so having them invest, they walk away from that conversation and they're like, wow, HB was really cool. But what they're not connecting is, I talked 80% of the time.
So how do you think, now you have to have an opportunity in this short podcast to share a little bit more about the framework of Firestorm. Yeah. How did it get created, and what are some of the structural foundation stones? Like if somebody joined Firestorm, what do they expect from your crew?
Phil Pelto started Firestorm in Minnesota, and he started Firestorm at the time he was doing custom suit sales, and he wanted to specifically sell to the C-suite, but they would not give him the time of day. They just wouldn't. They're like, it's another suit salesman. So he started making friends and identifying who else was selling or had relationships with his ideal client and building relationships with them so that they could provide an introduction for him. So that's where Firestorm started. That core strategy is what we preach and what we work on.
Everybody I've met in the Firestorm space seems to get it. Because they immediately gravitate to that spirit of generosity, building a relational network where everyone is trying to get the other guy to be successful.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite things about Firestorm. Every time I meet somebody in the org, if they've been with you for like 15 minutes, they're already thinking about ideal clients, but they're thinking about your ideal client.
Right.
Like, who are you after and why? And I wonder if I could support that in you. I wonder if there's some people that I could connect that would help you just get near those people. Name a couple of the structural components, like when people sign up, what should people expect on a weekly or monthly basis? What are they going to get out of it? What do they have to attend? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, so as a member, there are 17 chapters from Colorado Springs to Loveland, and there's a few virtual chapters as well.
Tell us how many people are in a chapter normally. What's the ideal size?
Ideal size is 14 to 18. Okay. We keep it pretty tight. It's capped at 22.
Why industry specific? That seemed like something very important to you.
Yeah, so that there's no conflict when you have a piece of business to refer. You don't have to go, well, I did this commercial guy last time, so I'm going to do this commercial guy this time.
Membership in each chapter doesn't have multiples in their unique column.
Correct.
I misunderstood you. I actually thought maybe that each chapter had an industry focus as a group. That's not what you were saying.
Some chapters do. After a while, they start to take on an identity, and you start to see their ideal client overlap in terms of revenue or industries that you're going after.
Well, I could see that. It would be very natural.
Right. So, and then that starts to attract other people that are looking to connect with those industries, and that's where one of the directions of growth can come from.
Meeting schedules, training materials, what does that look like?
Yeah, so meeting schedules are weekly. It's in the morning. It's an hour and 15. It's a quick hour and 15. Everybody follows the same agenda. And then our online system, you build out your ideal client profile, identify your strategic centers of influence, and there's an entire back-end learning management system on the fundamentals of networking, how to build your introduction, how to make introductions, how to build, nurture, and leverage relationships, all of those types of things.
Oh, that's great. So really like the little bits that we've shared so far in this podcast, or you guys just take that to the next level?
Yep, it's the blocking and tackling, right? It's the stuff that, you watch some of these videos, and I've watched all of them, and they're phenomenal, and you watch them and you kind of go, well, yeah. But to know and not do is to not know at all. So if you're not putting that stuff into practice, you might as well not know it. And so just being very diligent and focused on those fundamentals and having the discipline to apply them is where you're going to get your results.
Any other, maybe a story of specific impact, somebody you met through Firestorm, something you think is growing in value that you know is credited to this group?
Well, besides the fact that I like networking and I hated it before, thank you for that.
Well done.
One of the things I love is because that network in Denver is so huge.
Yeah.
Because being a member, I can go to anything you guys have up there. Now, people can visit those as well. They're not blocked from doing that. But I can go to any of the morning meetings. I can go to any social. I mean, I could literally fill my week with events that you guys have, which is pretty great. And what I love about that, though, is it's not just calendar filling. It's calendar filling with like-minded networkers, which means I am going to get high value out of those. So I love it because I know that if I'm going to put one of those on my calendar, I'm going to walk away from that with some pretty strategic connections from that.
Well, this is kind of a question where I'm going to get your advice now for us. As a team, we've learned over the last few years that our best clients, some of our brightest places to work is in the hospitality industry. What are the first couple of things that you would advise us to do as a commercial interior design firm to increase our footprint and influence and opportunity in that space?
So the first thing is identify specifically the type of hospitality that you want to go after. Because once you have that ideal client hyper-identified, location, revenue, size, then identify who else might be selling to them. And think big. Try to visualize the web and see who else would be interested in providing their services for them. So marketing, right? Digital marketing, traditional marketing, SEO, website marketing, social media marketing. We talked about M&A, mergers and acquisitions, business brokers, commercial real estate that specializes in working with the hospitality industry. Those types of people that are also going after your ideal client. So when you're asking them the questions, who do you like to work with? Who do you enjoy being in front of? Have you worked in the hospitality industry? What kind of hospitality do you like to service? And seeing where that crosses over with now that you've identified your ideal client very specifically, and then build a relationship with them and make money.
You notice that was like double duty because we were listening because we need that. But I think all business owners are trying to sort out what is the criteria for building a healthy network.
Yeah.
And you just outlined a whole lot of how these folks are connected and how to nurture those connections. We all know the difference between a web and a net. If you get caught on a salesperson's web, you know it.
Yep.
The real difference is in a web, there's a spider in the center, and everything that gets caught in it serves the spider.
Yeah.
If you get caught in a net, it's actually being held together by all these relationships, and it's going to actually feed the village.
Right.
It's going to be a community expression. There's more love, and it's certainly not like going out with a fishing rod and reel and just trying to catch one client at a time. I think that's what a lot of people get terrified about when they think about networking, is they got to go catch the client. And you're proposing, and Firestorm is proposing something that fits perfectly with how we resonate.
Yeah.
We're building a net of relationships who all have shared interests and shared loves, same humans that they're dealing with, the same goals. And by building that net of relationship, we tend to capture and share with one another.
Right.
Rather than just capturing and consuming everything ourselves.
Yeah.
And to me, that's why if you're a business owner or somebody who's trying to grow a business, you should connect with Nate. How do we connect with you, or make our first contact with Firestorm so that we can start learning better how to do what you guys do?
Yeah, the website has all of our contact information and everything. myfirestorm.com, and then call me, text me, email me, send up a smoke signal.
Is there any other resource we should recommend, a book or a download? Do you have any downloads at the website for people to sort of pull down some of your technology?
There's an abbreviated version of your ideal client and strategic centers of influence that guests visiting Firestorm for the first time can utilize.
That's awesome. It is really good. Thanks for being here, Nate. Really
Thanks for having me.
If you need to create an unforgettable experience, then branded interior design is your secret weapon, because we don't do boring. Designed to help your business grow. Pasley Commercial Interiors.